we are going to create a document about traveling, right? So I'm going to type here my traveling experience, right? So let's instead of creating the heading using custom fonts and custom size and custom font styles, you can go to these built-in styles as well. So these are styles which are built into this software to help us work efficiently. And the default style is, something which we use all the time. And whenever you start the document, this is the default. And style, by the way, is something which can contain text styling, text sizes, text alignment. All of those things can be, and text color, background color, and many things can be stored inside a style. So I won't be going into creating a style today because it will be done in next maybe next or next to next class, inshallah. So but today we are going to just use one of these styles. So here you can see that the styles are shown with samples. So title can be set using this built-in style, title style, and there can be heading styles. This is, and then there can be subtitle, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, etc. So for example, you were writing something, some random text, and you thought that maybe this is not really what I want to do with the text. And for example, you had changed the style to italic, bold, and the font color were reddish something, and there are certain other things you probably did with the text and you were not happy. So as I told you last time, this is called formatting of the text. So you can get rid of all the formatting in one click. How? You can go to the styles option, and there is something called clear formatting. So if you use clear formatting, it is going to get rid of all the formatting that you see over here. So immediately you see that all the bold italic thing is gone. So let me redo this. So all of the, whenever I do the clear formatting thing, all the text formatting is gone. The color is gone. Even the alignment can also go away, right? Because that is also part of style. So I'm going to so I didn't really change anything except applying the default title slide option, and it has selected this font and this font size and bold and center align. All of these things were automatically applied to this line or this paragraph called my traveling experience. So let's just type something and apply some formatting later on. And I also encourage you to use online typing tutors or similar softwares which help you improve your typing skills, because this keyboard is in the standard format. So you can see that you can always correct the spellings using right click. If the text is not added into the dictionary, you can also add it to the dictionary using this option. So I'm going to add this word Murray to the dictionary, right? So now we'll see how to apply numbering to a list of words or a list of sentences. So I'm going to type some names, like go to this button over here. So this is the numbering button, and you can apply numbering to all of these things. So I'm going to go and select the second option. So here you can see that all the numbering is automatically applied to this document. And then we go and so now I'm going to list down something which may not I may not want to count it as a list of items. Although so this it makes more sense to give numbering to these things, because I can see that I frequently travel to these 4 places, right? But now I would like to give reasons, and reasons are essentially things that not necessarily should have or must have numberings attached to it, right? So I can write stuff like that, right? So I'm going to select all of these, and as I mentioned in the last class, you don't need to select the complete lines, because all of these are taken as paragraphs in the eyes of the software. So I can just select any part of the starting and the last paragraphs, and the paragraphs in between are going to just be selected automatically along with the first and the last paragraph. So now I go and see that there are bullet options. This is a button which is showing me different bullet options. I can select any bullet style I like. So I'm going to select the second one, and maybe these are too big, so I'm going to select the third one, or maybe the first one. So you can select any bullet style that you like. So okay, so now as I press enter after the last line, I see that another bullet line is added. So if I want to get rid of this, I'm going to press another enter. So I have not written any text over here. I'm going to press enter, and this bullet is going to go away. and now I can type normal text in the default style. If you guys, so let me tell you, if you guys want to learn more about traveling in Pakistan, you can go to the website. So let's do maybe tourism.gov.pk, right? So what we are going to do is we're going to type, go to the official website of Pakistan government, right? So I'm going to select these two words, official website, and I'm going to insert a hyperlink so that these words are uh, behaving as hyperlink. A hyperlink is something, for example, you go to a website and you click something, so that is a hyperlink, right? So it will be a clickable link. So let's do that. So I'm going to go and press this button, insert hyperlink, or I can go to the insert option and there will be hyperlink option over here. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to type the URL which is mentioned over here, tourism.gov.pk. So I'm just going to type tourism.gov.pk, and I'm going to press OK. Nothing other than this that I need to do in order to insert this hyperlink. So you can see over here that the words have changed color and there is an underline beneath both the words. So if I press Control and on the keyboard and I press the left mouse key, I will be taken to this website using the default browser in my computer. So now you see that the default browser has opened the website called tourism.gov.pk, right? So yeah, so this was how to insert hyperlink, and if you have visited this hyperlink, it will change the color to some other color which shows that you have visited this hyperlink. Okay, yeah, so let's insert header and footer before we insert the tables into this document. So we want to mention our, let's suppose I ask you to mention your name. So I'm going to write my name, you can write your name in the header, and write your roll number in the footer. So header and footer are places inside a page, a Word document, which are outside the main text area, and they are in the margin area on the top side, that is the header, and on inside the margin area at the bottom, it's called the footer. So it is normally inserted in documents to mention an information which is true for all the document. For example, if I'm going to write over here, yeah, so I will have to press this plus button, so it is going to add a header. I'm going to right click for right alignment. I'm going to write down my name after typing author, and I'm going to type my name, right? So this is something that I may find that may look good for my organization. So let's change the font size to 10 and change it to italic, just so that it looks really different from the rest of the standard page. And let's do another thing. Let's insert page numbering. So let's you go to the insert option. In the insert option there is a field option. In the field option there is page number option, so you select that, and it is going to place the page number wherever your cursor is. So right now my cursor was outside the header area. Normally, as you said, it is normal to see or find your page numbers inside the header or the footer maybe. So let's actually insert the footer first and insert the, so I'm going to insert the page number in the footer. So I'm going to go over here, double click on the margin on the bottom side, then I'm going to double click this plus thing. So it is going to start editing the footer, and now I'm going to show you something really interesting. I'm going to use the, and I'm going to turn on the non-printing characters or formatting marks. I'm going to click the I'm going to press the tab key on the keyboard. So it is going to bring my cursor in the exact middle. Due to this tiny inverted T kind of thing, due to this thing, this tab key has brought me to the exact center of the page. So I'm going to insert my page numbers over here, and I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to go to field number, field and page number. And actually, it is also available over here, so I can click page number. Right. Sometimes we also type in off, total page 1 of 2. So it means there are 2 total pages, and this is page number 1. I'm going to press the tab key at the end of this line and see what happened. My cursor straight went to the exact right side of this line. And why that was true, it was because of this reverse L, tiny reverse L that probably you should be able to see. On this triangle, you can see an L shape which is reversed like this. Let's type in our roll number here. So, or maybe, address, because it makes more sense. Address, just going to type, let's say Gulberg, Lahore, right? And I'm going to change the font to size 10 again, and style italic. And I'm going to leave the page number just like this, the way it was. Now let's click back into the text and turn these formatting marks off. And now let's have a look of the complete page. So this is how it looks. You can see on top there's my name, and at the bottom there's my address, and in the middle of the bottom side there's the page number, and it also shows the total number of pages in this document. Which, and by the way, there is also a way to include total number of pages. So I'm going to insert the page count automatically using the insert field option. This way, if I insert a new page and the total number of pages increases, it is automatically going to be reflected over here, and the current page number is going to be reflected over here. And how do you insert a new page into a document? Anyone knows that? So this is the button for that. This is called insert page break. And there is instead of the buttons, the more frequently used thing is this thing: control on the keyboard and break. Break. This is the keyboard shortcut for inserting a new page. Some people, what they do is they simply keep on pressing the enter keys like this. So you are actually inserting many paragraphs in the document, and you are now going to this point, and now you have gone to the next page. So this is not really very a good thing to do. I keep my cursor over here where I want to start a new page. I simply press Control plus Enter, and you can see suddenly I've been taken to page number 2. And the second good thing I notice about my document is that it has updated the total number of pages over here automatically. So now it says page 1 of 2. So for example, if I simply type some random characters over here and I insert a new page again. So let's do that. Control plus Enter. So now you see the total number of pages on bottom of every page. You see that the total number of pages are updated to 3, whereas you see over here that this says page 2 of 3, and on the last page it says page 3 of 3. Pretty amazing, right? And pretty convenient. I'm going to get rid of this third page. And how do I get rid of the third page? I simply keep my cursor blinking inside the third page, and there should be no other text inside page 3. So if there is another other text, I will have to delete all the text. So I'm going to use the backspace key or shift select with arrow keys. And now if I'm going to press another backspace key, it is going to bring me to the page number 2, and now total number of pages are updated to page 2. So it says page 2 of 2. So far so good. Let's do another thing. So I'm going to give this page the title of more info or more information about the travel destinations. So I'm going to just change this to the style to subtitle. I am going to do something else. I'm going to insert a table, right? So before that, I should type something like the following table shows the pictures of my favorite places for travel, and at the bottom of every picture, you can see the best way to travel to that place. So I'm going to insert a table, and I'm going to create this table. This is a really convenient kind of table creator where you can select the size. So if I go like this, these are the number of columns, and if I go like this, these are the number of rows. So if the specifications say that you have to create and by the way, you can modify the number of rows and columns later on, so you don't need to worry too much. I'm going to show you how you do everything. So for example, if I place in 5 columns for 5 different places, and I'm going to use the first row for place name, second row for picture, one of famous picture for that place, then the how you can get to that place, and then the province. So there are provinces in Pakistan, so we're going to make use of those. And then I am going to use another one for later on. So I'm going to insert a 5 by 5 table. As soon as I do that, you can see that they are here. So now I am going to write down, let's suppose, Murray, and then I'm going to type here Quetta. And actually now, so I just thought of adding a new column to this table. So I'm going to select one of the columns, and I'm going to right click this column, and I'm going to go to insert options, and I'm going to select this option columns before. So it is going to add a column on the left side of this column, right? So you see it has immediately placed a new column. I'm going to change the alignment to center align for all of this row, and then I'm going to type over here, let's say Karachi, because Karachi can also be a for people from Punjab. It could be a good travel destination, right? So okay, so now I want 6 pictures. So I'm going to do that quickly. I'm just going to open 6 tabs like this in my browser. I'm going to type the name of each thing, each place that I have mentioned over here, and just like that. Right. So I'm going to go to the first option and I'm going to select the image. By the way, I can go to the images option and I can see many images, and I can just select one image, and I can just right click the image and use the save image as option in Google search page. So I can download it to the downloads folder. So it is downloaded. Then I go to the next one, I click images. So now I have all the images in the download folder. So now I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to go to the pick image option, insert image. Then I'm going to select the image for the first place like this. Then I'm going to place the cursor in the next you know cell. We call it a cell, by the way. And we go to the image option and I select the next place that I thought of. Then I go to the next and I go to insert image, the image for Quetta, right? So now I'm going to I can actually vertically align them as well. So here you go, here you can see the option of vertical alignment, right? So you select each image and you can use the vertical alignment option like this, and it will try to vertically align, right? So you can manually align the images like these. So I'm going to type the names of the provinces over here. This is in Punjab. This one is in, so both of these are in by the way, but we have to show the travel, the means to travel in these cells. I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to use the merge option, and actually table menu, sorry, and you can find the merge cells option. So now these two cells have become one cell. So whatever you type in here will be actually the contents of one cell. So you can, I'm going to type over here kpk, and I'm going to make it center aligned, and I'm going to make it this text center aligned as well. Similarly, these two are in the Sindh province. So I'm going to go to table menu and merge these cells, and I'm going to type here Sindh, and this, the last one is in Balochistan. So I'm going to type Balochistan, and then I'm going to place the, so by the way, there is a built-in gallery in this software, which is called the, in the view menu there should be a gallery option. So you go to this gallery option, and it is it has different sections for kind of clip art kind of things. So let's go and select the transportation option, right? So let's place the image of this aeroplane and click it and drag it to you know uh, let's suppose and by the way, both of these, the Karachi and Gwadar, from where we are speaking, we have to travel using plane. So we can select both of these. We can go to the table option and select the merge cells option, and now place this image of the plane in both the merged cells, and you can resize the this thing to you know so that it looks better in this in these cells, right? So for Quetta as well, so I think I think we should have merged all of these. So I'm going to go and select the merge option for all of these. Again, I'm going to delete this image, I'm going to reinsert it back in this again, and now you see that it is placed in for all three. So I'm not going to go for anything further to this. So but for the rest of these places, we can actually take a car or a bus or something. So let's merge these three and go to the format and table and merge option, and insert the image of a car over here, and yeah, we will be done, right? So okay, so this was so here you saw how to merge cells, how to insert images from gallery, and how to insert images from your hard drive, computer's hard drive. And for example, if we wanted to write how far these places are, we can also write them over here. So for example, we can write like 500 kilometers over here, and let's suppose 800 kilometers over here, and let's suppose the document really looks good. And if we zoom out, you can see that we have put in a lot of information in this document. By the way, you can see that header and footer we only entered in the first page, but they automatically appear in the rest of the pages in the document.